again from Texas Eco Farms. Okay, this is a follow-up. Hey, Curtis, I forgot to ask this one. I have six farmers friends Quonset Pro 50-foot tunnel kits. The Pro version includes the solid ridge pole, wind bracing kit. Yeah, okay, I know all this. Channel lock for the ends, 16-foot lift kit attached to the bows. I have overhead irrigation from the ridge pole. So you've got the micro jets hanging from the ridge pole. That's what that sounds like. In a Q&A, you were discussing Caterpillar tunnels and mods you would make to them. I was intrigued by your thoughts on the roll-up sides, but only channel locking the four corners versus running hit boards along the whole length of the tunnel. Could you go into more details on this? Okay, yeah, okay. My hoops are 5 feet apart. Would you only channel lock 5 feet on each corner, or span three hoops with a 10-foot board? I think it will eventually make a side curtain roll-up system with half-inch EMT. Yeah, okay, that's such electrical conduit, which I'm sure will sag, but those side curtains hooks will be great for supporting it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this mod in particular, but also anything else you can think of. Thanks. PS. One simple thing I did is I cut 3-foot landscape fabric in half with a soldering iron to fit in my paths. Oh, cool. Then with the head of the big nail as a guide, cut circular holes for the rebar when soldering with the soldering iron at 5-foot space, 5-foot spacing on the yellow line, so it's easy to place the rebar. Okay, that's neat. Oh, and then you got a little Instagram link in there too. What's that show? Oh yeah, smart. Yeah. So again, anybody who's in the forum can see that image posted. Yeah, that's really great. That way it keeps the weeds. So it's basically a fabric that just goes along on the bottom side. It's about a foot wide that goes where the posts go in the ground. And this is a nice feature to add because it keeps weeds from coming up on those edges, which are hard to stir up hoe. So that's great. So, I mean, it depends. The question is, what do you want to do with your cat tunnels? Do you want those Caterpillar tunnels to be in the same place all the time? Or do you want to move them once or twice a season and, or at the end of the year, whatever? Because that will determine on how much infrastructure you want to put into it. So certainly your thinking is correct in if you want to put hip boards along the bottom and then run channel lock on there, sure, you can do that. Why not? And then those green, if you do that, you're putting in a lot of work. So then you wouldn't be planning to move them, which is good. Maybe that's what you want. So yeah, you could do that. I mean, the cheap way I did it with my first Caterpillar tunnels is, I think, did you say this? Put a 10-foot board. Yeah, all I did is I had the channel lock on the ends, right, on each end of the bow. So mine were about 50 feet. Not quite, but yeah, my urban plot, they were whatever, close to 50 feet. Doesn't matter. Those are channeled. And then I put another channel lock with, I think it was a 10-foot board in the middle to hold the plastic down more in the center. And then that was enough to do a roll-up side. So it's kind of a lazy and cheaper way of channeling the whole thing, because it depends on your context, right? So those greenhouses are still there doing it, so it worked fine. Certainly the bigger the greenhouse, the better infrastructure you want into it, but for Caterpillar tunnels and stuff like that, absolutely do it. So I think that'll work just fine for you. I wouldn't use half-inch EMT for roll-up sides because it doesn't grab as good when it's smaller, and then you have to roll more. I would go and get 1 3/8 top rail for chain link fence posts, and then you can get them in 10-foot lengths. Connect those, get 5 of them for each side. They're not much. They're maybe $10 a piece, and then use those. And then you can, if you know somebody who welds, you can easily weld a little handle together for it. I've done videos on that in the past on YouTube. And you can, put together some pretty DIY roll-up sides, put a little rope, drill a little rope with a bolt to the bottom of the outside rung, And then when you roll up your sides, that rope hooks onto the handle so that it doesn't move, and then boom, it holds it open. Fairly simple, and I think that'll do exactly what you need.